You know that feeling when something is too good to be true? That nagging voice that whispers to you late at night, something's off here. It's not just about your phone lighting up with another notification. It's not just about the ads that seem to read your mind, or the endless scroll of perfect lives in your social feed. There's something much darker, much more insidious, lurking behind these beautiful interfaces, a shadow hidden in plain sight. And here's the real kicker. You've been trained to ignore it. You've been told it's normal. It's just the way things are now. A convenient, smooth experience. The future of freedom. The answer to all your problems. But the truth? You're living in an illusion. You think you're free because you can buy, like, post, and share whenever you want. But what if I told you that what you call freedom is just a cage painted with pretty colors? A cage designed to keep you hooked, distracted, and docile. You don't own the platforms you live on. You don't control them. They control you. And every second you spend on them, you pay a price, one you don't even know you're paying. We were told that capitalism would bring choice. It promised innovation, competition, and, most of all, freedom. Freedom to pursue our dreams. Freedom to carve our own path. But let's take a hard look at reality. Capitalism did indeed bring something, but it wasn't freedom. It was an intricate system that allowed a few to own and control everything, while the rest of us, the workers, were promised that our labor would lead to progress. We would rise through the ranks, become the business owners, the creators, the capitalists ourselves. But somewhere along the line, the game changed. You don't own your digital life. You don't own your data. You don't even own your creativity anymore. Everything you've ever created, every bit of data you've ever generated, is now property of the digital lords, the tech giants that dominate this world. Amazon, Google, Facebook, YouTube. You think you're using them? You think you're the consumer? But here's the secret. You're the product. This shift didn't happen overnight. It happened slowly, methodically, under the guise of convenience and innovation. You were made to feel special, unique, empowered. But the truth is far more terrifying. You're a pawn, a cloud surf in a new digital feudal system. The land is no longer physical. It's digital. And just like the medieval lords who ruled over the land, today's technolords control the cloud. And that cloud doesn't belong to you. Let's talk about your life, your business, your livelihood. Let's talk about how it can disappear in an instant. You think you're in control of your digital presence. You run your business on Amazon. You create content on YouTube. You have a store on Etsy. You've spent years building your brand, your audience, your income. But then, without warning, your account is suspended. Your page is deleted. Your income source is gone. Why? You don't know. The algorithm doesn't explain. There's no human on the other end to talk to. It's all automated. You've been struck down by the invisible hand of a system that doesn't care about you, your effort, or your value. Why? Because you don't own your platform. You don't control the terms. You don't even control your data. You signed away your autonomy the moment you clicked. I agree. That's the reality we're facing. And here's where it gets even worse. They don't need to manage you anymore. They don't need to micromanage you like the old corporate bosses did. They've handed that power over to an algorithm, a cold, impersonal machine that decides when you're visible, who sees you, and if you get paid. Your life, your future, is now controlled by a machine that doesn't care about you. That machine doesn't wake up, doesn't cry, doesn't experience the world. It just exists to churn out profit. You are a cog in their machine. This is techno-feudalism, folks. Let's talk about something you don't often question. Your choices. You think you're making your own decisions. You think you're browsing freely, picking products you want to buy, searching for the truth, exploring the world through the digital lens. But you're not. You're being engineered. Your desires? manufactured. Your wants, constructed. Every click you make, every search you perform, every time you like something, it's logged, it's recorded, it's cataloged. These platforms don't just sell you things, they sell you yourself, a version of you that can be monetized, manipulated, and marketed to. You think you're unique. You think you're an individual with personal tastes and preferences. But let me tell you something. They know you better than you know yourself. The algorithms track your every move. They know what makes you tick. They know what will make you click. They know what will make you buy. They know when you're vulnerable, when you're bored, when you're desperate for affirmation. They know when you're likely to fall into a rabbit hole of conspiracy videos, rage-filled comment sections, or feel-good content that confirms every bias you hold. You're not just the consumer. You're the product, constantly being sold back to yourself, and you're being conditioned to like it. You are a modern slave, and you don't even know it. Here's a question that should haunt you. If your livelihood depends on an algorithm, if your visibility is controlled by a machine, if your sense of reality is filtered through engagement-optimized content, are you still free? Are you still a person with agency, a soul with a purpose? Or have you become a tool, a product, a pawn? You live your life in a digital matrix, constantly seeking validation through likes, shares, and follows. But every time you do, you feed the machine. Every time you log in, you surrender another piece of yourself. So, let me ask you, what have you given up to be part of this system? Your attention? Your privacy? Your time? Your dignity? Have you lost your ability to think for yourself? Have you traded your autonomy for the convenience of digital convenience? If your existence is defined by how many people can see your posts, how many products you sell, or how many likes you get, is that really a life worth living? At what point do you stop being a person and become a cog in the digital machine? When was the last time you did something for you, not for the algorithm? Here's the most brutal truth. You were never supposed to own anything in the cloud. Your store, your account, your followers, they're not yours. They're rented, and the rent is steep. But here's the thing. You can stop renting. The first step is waking up to the truth, realizing that the convenience you've been sold is nothing but a trap.